This week, we did it! We finally decided on what we are going to do for Jonah's education while full-time traveling. Hi Explorers, Morgan and
Chris here, documenting our journey towards full-time family travel. Now, the number one thing that has scared us most about full-time family travel is trying to select an educational path for our children.
Right, and I think that is something that's not necessarily unique to nomadic families, but I think there's an extra level of fear that goes on top of it because usually a lot of those different routes are untraditional. So we've spent the last couple of years really diving deep into the different options that are available and what makes the most sense for our family, which we're going to share with you in the event that it can help you too.
We want to start off by saying that there is no right choice. And I think that the reason this is such a big deal for us and it's taken us like a while to figure this out is because we are both convinced there was a right choice.
Right, because we both went through public school systems. I went through school in Michigan and Chris in England, and they were fairly good experiences for us. But for our goals and the way that we want to raise our kids, we really want to give them a global standpoint instead of a regional standpoint. So it just didn't make as much sense for us.
Before we begin, a really important note is to check your country and even state laws on homeschooling because some of these options may not be available to you depending on where you're from.
Right, and then another thing to really keep in mind too is please don't get hung up on the terminology. There's a lot of heated debate on the internet about what these mean and also what they don't mean. So we just really wanted to give you an idea of what is possible, and depending on the family and source that you check out, it could be completely different. So we just wanted to inspire you and let you know what may be available to you.
Number one, world schooling. This seems to be a really popular term for letting the world serve as your inspiration for education. And we've definitely seen the benefit to this with Jonah and Jude.
We love taking the kids to museums, zoos, unique cities. For instance, we just got back from a quick trip to Canada, and the kids at 2 and 4 can easily identify the Canadian flag and foods that are unique to that country, like poutine, which they love. And they seem to get so much more out of it than, for instance, the book that we read them about Canada, which they already forgot about by the time we got to Canada. All of the different options that we will discuss are a form of world schooling or combined with world schooling. Number 2, unschooling.
A definition we found for unschooling is to live as if school does not exist, according to kidworldcitizen.org.
And I don't know that I necessarily love that definition of it because a lot of the families that we've connected with actually use this term as a way to describe what they did from taking their kids out of traditional public schools and giving them an education that's much more based on either homeschooling or world schooling or a combination of both. I connected with a Lantrone family a couple of years ago, and they just weren't thrilled with the public school system in their area that their kids were currently in, and they unschooled them and took them out and actually started their own form of homeschooling. They told us, I get to choose the what, when for our kids. It's not always stuff from a textbook. We go to museums or just outside on a hike at a state park, and they are learning. It means more time for our family to be together and learn together. This has been an amazing decision, and we have never questioned it. So we find that super inspiring.
Number 3, homeschooling. The families that we connected with that homeschool usually follow a routine and keep up with benchmarks that kids of similar ages meet in traditional schooling.
Right, and this is often combined with the other options that we'll discuss for a more customized education.
For example, our friend Mark from World uses books, apps, and also homemade workbooks for each country they travel to, along with online materials. So as you can see, it's definitely a combination of lots of things. Mark told us that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to homeschooling, and it depends on what you're looking to achieve and what kind of learner your child might be.
Number 4, online school, which leads us to the decision that we made for Jonah, online school. Many states and even countries have options for kids to enroll in private and public schools online, which means you have access to things like teachers and curriculum, but you can do it virtually wherever you are. We decided to go with a school that's unique to Michigan, Life Tech Academy, because we actually know the people that run it and the teachers, and we're super impressed with it. So we're really optimistic that this is going to be a good option for us. We know that Jonah's so young that we're gonna have to do a lot of the teaching ourselves, which we're totally okay with. But I think the reason that this was so attractive to us is because I think it really holds us accountable, having a support system behind us. I mean, you get access to a curriculum and we have access to teachers if we have questions. So I think for us, it just kind of seemed like the best of both worlds.
Number 5, going to school in a foreign country. This is an option for families that opt for slow travel.
Right. We've seen so many success stories come out of families that have gone into new cultures, not speaking the language, putting their kids into a school system where they don't even know the language, and by the end of the year, they're fluent. We actually worked at a camp in the Poconos Mountains. That's where we met. And the first summer, we had a really cute little girl from Japan named Monica. She did not know any English whatsoever, and my heart hurt for her at first. It was a struggle for her.
She was young too.
She was 5, I think, when she first came, and she came back the second summer and she was fluent in English. It was such a rewarding and cool experience, and her confidence had just skyrocketed. So that was really awesome to see. So I can definitely see the benefit of that. We also have friends, always an adventure with kids, and Cindy, the mom, who we've really become close friends with and really look up to, she's an educator. She has a background in education, and they moved from Michigan to New Zealand and decided to actually put their kids in school in New Zealand. And she told us that she thinks her kids learn better from other people, and I can definitely see how that would work. Another option is to find an international school, but be aware that there's often tuition fees associated with that. And I do see some families find tutors in the countries that they're in. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please comment down below if you have any tips for us for school for Jonah next year. This is very new to us, and we've relied on this community so much. We really appreciate all the advice that we've gotten in the last couple of years, and really hope that you can come through on this one.
And if you found this useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you love this video, please smash that like button.
See you next week.
Adios! Is picking a school for
Okay, I think we need to...
One,
Take a deep breath.
Tragic.
Thank you so much for watching. Every single blah, 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 blah. 1, 2, 1.
Who are you being?
The teacher.
You're Miss Tyrion?
Yeah.
And you're reading a book?
Okay.
And where are the children?
Right over there.
Okay, they're over there. Okay. Got it. And you said one of them's sick?
Yeah.
Which one's sick?
Mickey Mouse.
That one with the tissue?
Yeah. Hey. Bye.